So the next documentary I'm going to research is Catfish. Catfish is an American reality-based documentary series on MTV, and it shows us the truths and lies of online dating. And it is a reflexive documentary with elements of participatory in it. So for the use of sound in the documentary Catfish, there's not much music used at all apart from in the start and the end of a documentary. So it's mainly just made up of dialogue, so that's your voiceover, what you hear and see in the interviews, and what you can physically see on screen as well, like what the people are actually saying and what you can hear from what you see on screen. So that basically allows the viewer to not get distracted with as much music, and little music and mainly dialogue also allows the message to be conveyed clearer and more effectively to the viewers. So for the use of editing, one of the main things I picked up on was the use of a 180-degree rule within interviews. This is basically where you have a camera behind the person being interviewed and a camera behind the person interviewing, so it can switch from back and forth, showing their point of views in the interview. And that does support the participatory element of the documentary, as it shows the connection that the documentarian has in the interview, and he's literally on screen asking the questions, getting involved. Also in the editing, there is the use of shots being put over dialogue and interviews. So in Catfish's case, an example of that would be when the person being interviewed is talking about various messages being sent, shots of the messages do come up over the interview, so that allows the viewer to better their knowledge and understanding of the situation, what's going on. And finally, one other thing I picked up on in the editing is the use of parallel editing, so that allows the viewer to see both sides of the story. And finally, the cinematography of Catfish. One thing I did pick up on was the use of predominantly handheld shots, like apart from the interviews, they're all handheld shots, so that does give the viewer the sense of them being involved, them following the person on their journey to meeting this person they've met online. And in the interviews, there is the use of multiple cameras, as that does allow them to use different shots in different times, and it's just a better look instead of having the interview with one shot.